Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I need to tell you this story. I remembered this story this morning, and I was like, oh my goodness, how did I forget that? So I was seeing this guy. We had just started going out together, and it was right after I had published my first novel, Redemption Song. And I was so proud of it. And it was getting really great reviews, and people reading it and talking about it, and book clubs and tour. I think I had just finished the tour. So it was really great. It was great having conversations with people about it. So anyway, so I noticed this guy had like not mentioned reading it like at all. And he'd call me while I was on tour and how's the tour going? How's it going? What's happening? And da 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 da. And he wanted to talk about what was going on, but he never mentioned how he felt about the book. So one day I finally just said to him, "Yeah, so did you like the book? Did you anything?" I mean, people would just like out of nowhere was like, "Oh my God, Redemption Song!" I remember one day I was on a plane and I was reading another book. It was like a science book, and this woman was like, "What are you reading?" The flight attendant. She said, "What are you reading?" I said, "I'm reading blah blah blah," and she said, "You know what you need to read?" And I was like, "What?" And she said, "You need to read Redemption Song," and I was like, "I wrote it." I was so proud. She went, and looked at the manifest, saw my name, came back. Oh my God! Oh my God! I can't believe it. So it was like that, right? So I finally asked him, what are your thoughts on this book? And he's like, "Oh, I haven't read it." And I was like, "Well, are you gonna read it? Because you've been asking me about the travels and what people say and what they're doing. Are you gonna read it?" He was like, "No, I have you. I don't need to read the book. Well, I got the original." I was like, "What? What?" So, in my head and in my heart, it's like it's wonderful that all these other people are appreciating what I've done. But you think the people who are closer or who want to be close to you would want to know about, would want to, be excited about it also. But that whole prophet not honored in their own hometown kind of thing. Anyway, I didn't interact with him after that. And he would call, and I would have short conversation. I'd go back to doing what I needed to do, and what have you, what have you. And he'd ask me out, and I was like, "No, I'm really gonna be busy. I'm working on another book, and blah blah blah." And he was like, "Well, I mean, you're not gonna take a break. You're not gonna eat." I was like, "I'm just gonna grab something to eat here." "Well, do you want me to come over?" I'm like, "No, I really don't need the distraction. I'm gonna keep working." So he did everything. After about 3 or 4 weeks of this, he called and said, "Oh my goodness, now I see why you wanted me to read this book. This book is amazing. It is really, what a beautiful love story. This is a love story of love stories." And I was like, "Well, it wasn't that I wanted you to read the book. I just thought you would want to read the book. I'm not gonna make anybody read anything." And so he was like, "Well, okay, but it was really, really wonderful. So when can we go out?" I was like, I'm still busy working on another book." And he was like, "But I read your book." And I was like, "Yeah, you read it because you wanted to continue to see me. And you didn't read it because you were proud of what I did or any of that. You read it to get something you wanted." Anyway, I didn't go out with him anymore. Um, and I think the story came up because, I had to preach yesterday about familiarity and how, because we think we know someone, we no longer see what they do that's amazing or wonderful. And I think when you really know someone, when they do something amazing, it should be even more amazing to you. Like the fact that y'all listen to these stories, that is just amazing to me. I love you.